Hey guys, Mr. Mimikyu here, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing my first ever Little Jungle Cup remix battles. Here my opponent swapped into Poochyena, I swapped in the Vigoroth after they ran Tackle? What? And then I realized Tackle got a buff in this season, and here they bring in Wooloo. I'm surprised like my opponent is running like a triple Tackle theme. Here I throw in the Body Slam, they shield it. I decided to wait out my switch clock. I go back in the Dino. Here I click on the Body Slam, and what do you know? They double shield the Wooloo, which is something I wasn't expecting. Here I decide to shield just to play it safe. It ends up becoming a wild charge here. They try to farm down. I bring in Galarian Stunfisk as they bring back in Dino, and here I can tank a Body Slam, no big deal. Here we decide to stack up for the back-to-back Rock Slides, or maybe we'll just farm down at this rate, We can tank one move, we take the Body Slam very well. Here we have two Rock Slides loaded for the Wooloo, and that is a good game, very well played to my opponent. Moving on to the next battle, we got Spinda. Now, it's kind of ironic for someone that would make 5 great curveball throws in a row. Here they bring in Rattata, and look at the amount of energy they're gaining from Quick Attack, though. Here I shield and end up becoming a Shadow Ball, which is kind of funny. They bring in a lone Exeggutor. I go for the Body Slam with Vigoroth. I get a shield. They try to farm me down, but I don't think they're going to do that because I think they're going to be forced to throw a move, which sure enough they did. I tried to snipe, but I couldn't, and they throw in the Dragon Pulse, which you should throw in the Seed Bomb and then throw in the Dragon Pulse. Here they bring back in Spinda. I go for the Crunch to do some big damage and we win. Next opponent has a Hisuian Electro, which, to be honest, like you could run like Hisuian Voltorb because with Tackle's energy buffed up a little bit, although you could run Charge Beam, and here my opponent has a Minccino. I go for a Body Slam after taking a crap ton of damage from Charm because it's 4 times super effective. I snipe with Vigoroth. They throw in the Aqua Tail, and they bring back in the Hisuian Electro. Yeah, they bring back in the Hisuian Electro. We farm that down. They have a Cherubi. I throw in the Body Slam and the shield. I throw in another Body Slam to do some big damage to it, and it's pretty much good game here. There's nothing my opponent can really do. They throw the C-Bomb after realizing they would have died to the counter, and we just snipe with the Dragon Breath. Next up, we have Houndour. And I'll say this, yeah, it's very early in the set, I get that. They have Shinx here. I throw in the Body Slam to do some pretty big damage, and sure enough, they didn't even shield. They have Arbok. I can just go into Galarian Stunfisk. When I saw the Poison type, I literally thought it was going to become Nidoran Female or even Nidorina. But anyways, that was a good game. Next opponent, we got a Poochyena. This time, this one is running Snarl. They get to 3. They got to the Poison Fang, which is going to hurt like crazy, but not too well, though. They have the Snipe, but they couldn't, and I don't know what to say. They have a Hoppip, and I know it seems like silly to go for a Body Slam, but we draw on the first shield, and I throw in the Crunch. I know that's silly and all that stuff, but that's okay. We catch, I think it was the Grass Knot. Oh my goodness, that Grass Knot did a lot of damage considering Vigoroth is not that bulky in the Little Cup than it is in the Great League, because Vigoroth is considered to be a stable among Great League. Here they have a Pikachu. I bring in Galarian Stunfisk. Just as long as they don't have Surf, we're golden. But that Wild Charge hurts like crazy. My goodness. But we could just farm down, and then that's a good game. Very well played. It's just early into the sets, but well done. And of course, our next opponent has a Chinchou. We do some heavy fast move pressure. They bring in Minccino after taking a lot of damage from the Charm. Oh my gosh, Charm is just way too strong. At this point, I was hoping for it to get nerfed, but instead we got a better Fairy type fast move in the term of Fairy Wind, which I'm going to probably try out on one of my Pokemon soon in the future, but I don't know which one though, to be honest, because there were a large variety of getting it. Here my opponent just double shield the Chinchou. I can now go into, I think, Galarian Stunfisk. No, I bring in Dino and apply some fast move pressure. They go for the bubble beam, hoping they could have like predicted a shield here. Because of my attack debuff, I have to go for a crunch because they bring in the Alolan Diglett as opposed to the Cantonia, because you could see the little piece of hair that is stranded from its face or head, excuse me, and we can just farm down with G-Fisk and take the win. So that's another good game, very well played. Moving on to the next match, we got Dino Mirror. Now this one I kind of messed up here because we're both applying fast move pressure. I click on the body slam the same time they did and they won CMP. That really cost me the game, and you'll see why. They have a Skarmory, which isn't too good. I know for a fact that if we had Brick Break, it wouldn't help either because of its weaker damage output. Even though it does require the same energy as Body Slam, Brick Break is just a pretty crappy move. I would love to see maybe in the next season Brick Break get a buff where it can now lower the opponent's defense, just like how in the main series where every time you use Brick Break it would shatter, reflect, and light screen. However, that isn't the case here. Here I throw in the Rock Slide. Kind of wish I had Earthquake on G-Fisk, and if I had Earthquake then this match would have played out a little bit differently. Here I shielded last second in case it was an Earthquake, but instead I got baited with the Fire Punch, and yeah, at this point I realized that I screwed up here and I lost, but that's okay. You can't win them all. Here they throw in the Earthquake, which is kind of necessary, but boom, they killed me. Moving on to the next match, we got a Skarmory lead. Now, the thing is, I swap in the Vigoroth, they go into their own Dino, and holy crap, those Dragon Breaths really like to add up, and sure those counters too, because like, you know, here I can't do anything about it. I could just go for a Body Slam. We end up getting a shield, which is kind of ironic, and they throw in the air slash as I throw because I know for a fact Vigoroth is about to die, which I decide to let it go down. I go into Galarian Stunfisk, and I think that was a little too early for the Brave Bird, and they throw in the Sky Attack, you know, like, it is 7 to the Brave Bird because, like, you would much rather run Brave Bird over Flash Cannon because that is the standard moveset for Skarmory. And here they swap the Rock Slide on the Chansey. Here I stored a Rock Slide just in case Skarmory comes back in. And I throw in the Crunch with Dino in hopes for a defense drop, which I don't, but that's okay. Here I know for a fact they're not at the Dazzling Gleam. They throw in the Psychic and they just surrender. So good game to my opponent. Next match is where we got met up with a Wigglytuff. Now, I went into Vigoroth because I didn't want to go into G-Fisk, and here I click on Body Slam and they ended up shielding, which is kind of sucks for me. But that's okay. We can try and figure out a way to get out of this. Here they have a Razor Leaf Shiftry. Like, holy cow, those Razor Leafs sure chunk like crazy. Like, who runs Shiftry in this meta? This is kind of awkward, to be honest. And all I have left is Dino, and I really can't do anything. They throw in a Leaf Tornado. They got the attack debuff, which makes those Dragon Breaths do less damage. Here I could have like undercharged the Body Slam, but at the same time, don't forget, Charm does a lot to Dino, and we just die from the Charm. Moving on to the next match, we got a Swine Up. Here, I swap into G-Fisk, and I take a Body Slam, knowing for a fact that I had set this battle, like if you saw yesterday, and yet I go for the Rock Slide, and they get a shield, which is kind of surprising because they had to respect the Earthquake. Here I'm just going to let this go because it's a Body Slam and not a Twister, and it takes 10 takedowns for the Dig, which I don't recommend Dig because of its high energy gain. Is just not worth it, to be honest. Like, it uses the same amount of energy as Hyper Beam. Here I just Snipe with Dino. They bring back in the Swine Up. Here I shielded just to be safe because it might have been an Icy Wind, but it ends up becoming a Body Slam, which is fine. Here we can just go for our own Body Slam, and we secure the KO on Swine Up, and all they have left is Unova and Stunfisk. They can't really do anything about it, so we just try to farm down, but they surrendered. Next match is where we got a Dino Mirror. Now, I noticed their Dino was not even powered up to 500, which made me win the mirror match, so that's kind of nice, but I took a lot of damage in return. They have Haunter, which, you know, it's kind of scary because, like, I don't have Bulldoze. Here I go into G-Fisk, they go into Swablu, and they're running Astonish? What? Who runs Astonish? That is like a very bad move. Here they throw right away. I let it go. It was the Aerial Ace, and like Vigoroth can tank anything really. Those Astonishes are just tickling it. It doesn't even do anything. They bring back in the Haunter just as long as we can survive one move. It happens to be the Shadow Punch. I click on Body Slam, and what do you know? We ended up killing this thing. Like, oh my goodness. Like, even though it is double resisted as well as counter being triple resisted, you can't really expect much though. Here they have a Wooper, and they throw right at CMP, and it's all like fine and dandy and stuff. They throw in the Body Slam. There's no reason to go into G-Fisk, let alone like how much these Body Slams are really doing. I try to catch with Vigoroth, which sure enough I did. They have a Drifloon, which of course is Vigoroth's worst nightmare. I thought I was going to survive the Icy Wind. Turns out I didn't. So I bring in G-Fisk and I click on Rock Slide so they couldn't get off the Icy Wind or the Shadow Ball. What's funny is that both Drifloon and its evolution Driplim have the same moveset. Here I click on Rock Slide on CMP, I shield in case it was a Mud Bomb, which it was, so thank goodness I shielded correctly. Here I throw in the Rock Slide, and sure enough they ended up double shielding the Wooper, like crazy. Here I shield up the Dino, and then their last just so happens to be an Obstagoon. Like, holy crap, this team, like this guy is running Spice, like, man, well, the Obstagoon is spicy. Here I click on Rock Slide and I end up dying due to losing CMP. Moving on to the next match, we got Natu. Now, I'll say this, like with the amount of spicy things in this meta, Natu sure is spicy. Like, you don't really need it though. But still, those pegs hurt a lot. But here we can just go for double Body Slam with Dino against their Bulbasaur. And we ended up getting both shields, which is kind of surprising because you usually don't expect that to happen though. I click on Body Slam, they won CMP because, well, I think Bulbasaur has a higher attack. Here I shielded just to be safe in case it was a Sludge Bomb, but it turns out to be another Seed Bomb. Here they have is the Swablu. I can just go for Body Slam, and maybe I could swap into G-Fisk, but at the same time, we swap into G-Fisk, we can tank one move, even if it's an Ice Beam, we can tank that, no problem. They throw in the Disarming Voice, I just throw in my Rock Slide and we secure the KO. Moving on to the next match, we got a Skrelp lead. Now, at least we resist the water moves. Here they bring in Ferrothorn, I bring in Vigoroth, and we can just shield once, just in case it is the Power Whip, which it was, so thank goodness we shielded correctly. Here they try to go for Mirror Shot, but failed to do so. I'm probably guessing they're probably going to bring back in the Skrelp, which they do. We have enough for 3 Body Slams. Oh my god. One to get the shield, we click on the second, and we end up getting both of their shields, which is kind of surprising because, like, yeah, Little Jungle Cup is pretty fast paced, you go pretty fast, and it's pretty short, 500 is pretty low. They throw in the Aqua Tail, which I think they shouldn't have. They have a Galarian Stunfisk. I throw in the Crunch. I don't think I should go into my own, likely because of Earthquake. Here I let this go. It ended up becoming a Muddy Water, which is pretty strange because, like, you don't usually run Muddy Water on G-Fisk. You run the standard moveset. Here we got a Drifblim lead, and of course you know how it goes down. 4, and here I shield the Icy Wind. It's all fun and games, They bring in the Vigoroth. I should have brought in my own Vigoroth, to be honest, but I just wanted to play it out how it goes. We go for the Rock Slide. We end up getting their first shield, which is kind of interesting to see, but yet at the same time, here we can just shield here, and they throw in the Body Slam. Now we can just proceed to the farm down. They bring back in the Drifloon, or Driplim. I throw in the Body Slam, even though it is double resisted, and it seems unnecessary to shield. I click on Body Slam, and I think I might have lost CMP. Here they have a camera up, and this is kind of scary, to be honest, but in the end, we managed to KO, and then we just throw in the body slam against the Drip Limb. So good game to my opponent. Very well played.